Alright, Lantern, so this morning we did get some data mined information courtesy of Hiken on the next set of resurrectable characters, and to no one's surprise, since 1000 Year Blood War is officially back, we are once more getting 1000 Year Blood War resurrections. In this case, Izuru, Genryusai, and also Chojiro are getting the upgrades, and we're about to see in today's video how good they might potentially be. Now, before we go ahead and actually do that, let me just quickly point out something, right? Because obviously the trend as of the last 2 years is 1000 Year Blood War resurrections when the anime is back. But I believe early this year, right, we had like 2 to 3 rounds of resurrections. So what this does mean is that next month we should be getting Misaki and Isshin, get their upgrades, and I'm pretty excited about that one because Misaki's actually still a pretty good GQ unit. And then after that, it's done. 1000 Year Blood War resurrections are done because Ryuki and Ichigo should be getting theirs right at the end of Core 3. And that then begs the question, what are we going to get next year when we get Core 4 of 1000 Year Blood War? Because after this banner, Ryuki and Ichigo, when they did release at the end of 2020, we didn't get another 1000 Year Blood War banner for like the next 2 years. The next 1000 Year Blood War banner that we did get was Yuha, Aizen, and Genryusai, July 31st, 2022. So I'm actually kind of curious to see what Core 4 is going to be like when we do get that edge sometime next year, right? And what Kaila's plans are for 1000 Year Blood War resurrections, because generally these might get done next year. But with that said, let's go ahead and check out these characters. So I believe this is quite a big banner because this is the first banner that had innate skills. So obviously, as we have been seeing with 1000 Year Blood War units getting resurrections, is that they've been picking up new innate skills. And then because of that, they've been able to get 2 to 3 new skills. But in this case, when they already have 3 innate skills, what is this character going to pick up? Because he can't get new innate skills, and then actually looking at the skill set here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's going to get 1 new skill. So by default, are these new units going to look worse in terms of upgrades when compared to the, units that we got resurrected in the last year or two? Because by default, they just can't pick up that many new skills. I think at this point in time, since we are getting to a more standardized skill set of characters, we really need to start replacing skills and just getting really good skill upgrades, like, for example, Frenzy 1 into Frenzy 2. I'm not expecting that for this banner, but definitely in the future, we kind of need to get that. So in his case, with Genryusai, I'm really not sure what he can pick up. He got damage to burning enemies. He got Berserker plus 20. I would love to see that go up, like, quite high, actually. He's got the Havoc. I guess the only thing he can pick up here is an increased chance to inflict status amounts, which to a certain extent you might argue that he doesn't need, because every 5 seconds he has a 12% chance to inflict burn. I guess an 80%, or I guess in this case 50% SP boost wouldn't also be too bad. For the soul trait, I'm not expecting damage to burning enemies. I mean, it would work with the fact that he has 20% here, so that wouldn't be too bad, but I wouldn't be surprised if they actually get a good soul trait for this Yamamoto. But let's find out. So first up, his soul trait is burning enemies. So that was actually, it was either that or going to be a good soul trait, right? So he is getting that 40% damage to burning enemies. And then scrolling down here, he got a 60% Berserker, so 40% increase there. He also picks up Guard Break, and he got 20% more damage to burning enemies. So quite a simple upgrade, nothing super crazy. And again, this is a potential bad thing going forward with future resurrections, is that, since they can't get new skills, are we only ever going to now get like upgrades on Berserker by like 40%? I hope not. In terms of damage increase, technically you got 80% damage increase here, 40% Berserker, 20% more damage to burning enemies, and then an additional 20% through the soul traits. As a soul trait though, damage to burning, again, these damage to stat inflicted soul traits can be decent, but it really depends if the technique attribute has a character that has a very high chance to inflict burn. In this case, as of right now, I don't think that is the case. They can definitely become useful though, the more, characters we get with like super high Berserker, where 60% damage increase on strong attack damage isn't going to be nearly as good as a whole new multiplier, which is what this could potentially offer. In all honesty, maybe more than ever, I really feel like these resurrections need to start getting Frenzy 2, or at least an SP boost to be somewhat more usable. After that though, we have Chojiro. Quite a unique unit in Brave Souls, since it's the only time we ever see Chojiro use his Bankai, not as a young version. This was also the first time we did see his Bankai in game, and he also has that unique effect when you do use your Soul Bomb. You get a little Shockwave Vortex. I believe this might have been the last character that actually had this. Either way though, so he might get a similar treatment to Yamamoto here, where he gets an extra 20% damage to paralyzed enemies as a skill, so it goes up to 40%, and then he might pick up an extra 20% as a soul traits. Again, would love for him to pick up a good soul trait here. It's either that's once more or damage to paralyzed enemies. His Berserker is definitely going to go up at least 40%. Maybe we're going to see something very similar to Yamamoto, but I believe in his case, right, yeah, he doesn't have any innate skills. So he's going to pick up 1 new skill here and potentially 3 innate skills. At least 2, but it also could be 3. So we're looking at 3 to 4 new skills here on Chojiro, plus a potential good skill trait. He's already got Havoc, so maybe he's going to pick up Guard Break, maybe an immunity, and maybe another multiplier for him to do more damage. So let's find out. So first up, innate skills is Guard Break and also full stamina damage only, increased strong attack damage plus 30%. Alongside that, his attainable soul trait is more strong attack damage only when at full stamina. Really good soul trait. And damn, he kind of got like a good upgrade here. I mean, you know, damage output is still, of course, going to be lacking when compared to new characters. But as far as upgrades do go, this is relatively decent. A 20% Berserker increase plus the extra 20% more at full stamina plus the extra 30%, so 60% more strong attack damage. Of course, also did get the Guard Break and also does now get that increased chance to inflict status summons against any mind attribute story bar. The thing is though, of course, you're never going to use this character, so it's kind of awkward. Like, it's an overall good upgrade. More damage is never a bad thing. But you know, you're not really going to use him in the melee Captain Gyoku's, I believe is what he's supposed to be used for. As far as his soul trait does go, this is a really good soul trait. So if anything, the main thing to care about Resurrections, as always, is the link and the orbs they do give. And this is actually a pretty good soul trait. Recharge and more strong attack damage when at full stamina is actually really good. And with this soul trait, to my knowledge, this is now our 3rd full stamina strong attack damage soul trait that we do have. So you can use Chojiro with Nanao and also Mugetsu to overall get 60% strong attack damage when at full stamina, with of course the standard amount of recharge you want your characters to have. So overall good upgrade. Not going to make him usable by any means, but it is better than what Yamamoto did get. But most importantly, really good soul trait. And of course, also more orbs. And then last up, we have Izuru, who has some potential here, depending on how they do actually design him. And it's super unfortunate too, because I remember when this character came out, like, he had really good potential to be something good here. But obviously, he didn't have Guard Break, and that was always his, like, biggest thing. Because he did release after Tokinada, so Guard Break was what you wanted for normal attack damage characters to have. And for some reason, it wasn't the standard for quite some time. With that said, though, damage taken minus 20%, would love for him to pick up normal attack damage here. And you know what, to a certain extent, even dodge wouldn't be that bad for a comeback. We haven't seen dodge as a soul trait in a very long time, and I don't expect to see it anytime soon or ever. But the dodge meta has kind of come back in Brave Battles. And by dodge meta, it's not a bad thing to have the occasional dodge percentage on your unit. And dodge alongside some extra damage taken wouldn't be too bad, but 20% DR is actually a really good soul trait as is, so that with 16% more normal attack damage is going to be really good for characters like Sergeant. In terms of skills though, we have Sprinter, Poise, Last Ditch, Flurry, Debilitator, Bruiser, and also Berserker. So I'm hoping for him to pick up Guard Break here. He has a pretty good chance because, I mean, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skills. So we're getting 2 new skills here, plus the additional 2 innate skills that he is going to pick up. So 4 new skills. They put Guard Break on the 2 other characters, so I'm hoping he gets Guard Break here. And if that is the case, he would be the first NAD unit to get Guard Break, right? Unless I'm wrong. But I believe he should be the first NAD unit to get Guard Break, and that would be quite a big moment, and very likely to happen, because again, Guard Break now seems to be the norm. Every character is getting Guard Break upon resurrecting. And just to confirm, yeah, he doesn't have any innate skills. So let's find out. So scrolling down, normal attack damage as a soul trait, you'll love to see it with the Guard Break and also long reach. Damn. Okay. This is kind of decent for, because NAD units, right, the standards are lower, right? So this unironically isn't that bad. So we got the long reach and Guard Break. That is 2 really good skills to get. With the extra normal attack damage soul trait, so that's a really good soul trait for someone like, for example, 1000 Year Blood War Sergeant. His Bruiser went up by 10%. Alongside that, he also did get damage inflicted at low stamina plus 50%. And under half stamina, he decreases the damage taken by 30%. I kind of like this upgrade. I actually do. Like, in a way, it kind of just makes sense too. On launch, he should have had Guard Break. Long Reach is going to make him a more enjoyable character if you do decide to use him. Guard Break in general just makes him now usable outside of Gyoku's if you like this type of playstyle. The damage at low stamina kind of makes sense for him because he is kind of a zombie, right? We are eventually going to get zombie units in the future, and I would love to see, all zombie characters. I mean, then again, he's actually not a zombie, is he? He's not. Not technically. He's not a zombie. Forget what I was going to say. But damage at low stamina does make sense for him, right? It goes well with the Last Ditch survival, and since he wants to be at low stamina, you are open to potentially dying in 1 hit, so that's why you have that 20% DR soul trait and now 30% damage taken once you are at half stamina. So honestly, a really good resurrection on Izuru's case, and that more so just goes to the fact that you know, the flurry standard is a lot lower. Because unironically, damage output-wise, when he is under half stamina, is very comparable to some of the units that we do get nowadays. But at the same time, I think it is quite a big moment, unless I am forgetting someone. This is the first normal attack damage character to get guard break upon resurrected. And scrolling down and looking at some of the characters that have yet to resurrect. Right now, the oldest banner to not get resurrected is Khan for Your Own World Round 4, which would have happened potentially this resurrection batch if 1000 Year Blood War didn't return, because we saw Round 3 get resurrected last month. Now, when it comes to Khanfield resurrections, they only used to get it at the end of the month. In this case, though, round 3 happened in the middle of the month, so this potentially does mean that Tokinada, Halibo, and also Baragon are gonna get resurrected in 2 weeks' time. If we get a second batch. Since 1000 Year Blood War just got resurrected, we should, but it's not guaranteed to be Khan for Your Own World. Khan for Your Own World once more could get put on hold until 1000 Year Blood War is done until the end of the year. But right now, and it is weird to say, but round 4, Tokinada, Halibo, and Baragon are the last round, the oldest banner to not get resurrected, besides, of course, the 3 units that for some reason don't get upgrades. After that, it's going to be round 5 of Khan for Your Own World, then 6, just a bunch of Khanfield banners, basically. The oldest premium units are actually Genryusai and Chojiro, who could also get resurrected at the end of the month if they don't want to do a limited time banner, like Khan for Your Own World, for example. And then eventually we're going to get around to doing Byakuya and also Ichigo. I know a lot of people are saying, where is it? Where is it? I'm going to keep saying it, right? While it would have made sense for 5th anime character to get resurrected during the anniversary, we have seen it's not always the case, right? 3rd anniversary Okiura got resurrected for New Year's, so we very well might see the same thing with 5th anniversary Byakuya and also Ichigo. By the time we get to that point, 5th anniversary would be the oldest premium round to get resurrected. Because assuming we are getting 2 resurrection batches a month now, 1000 Year Blood War in the middle of the month, and then 1 premium at the end of the month, this month we should be getting Genryusai and also Chojiro. Next month we should be getting this particular banner. But then again, I think there's a Halloween banner to get resurrected sometime soon, right? Actually, it doesn't seem like it. This was the year we actually skipped Halloween, so I don't think, unless this Spirit Society banner is going to get resurrected sometime soon. But again, my expectation is that this end of month is going to bring us Khan for Your World Round 4, or Genryusai and also Chojiro, and then 5th anniversary characters will get resurrected likely at the start of the year, like we saw with 3rd anniversary. But that isn't guaranteed. They'll get it when they're ready. Only time will tell. But real quick, I also want to look at some of the upcoming normal attack damage units that had yet to get guard breaks. So, I don't really care about this Amagai. But is there any, like, ranged Naj unit that didn't get guard break? I think the first notable one here is actually going to be this particular Orihime. Once more, during this time, not every normal attack damage character got guard break, and the one thing everyone complained about, because at this point it should have been the norm, was the fact that he didn't get guard break. So it was always a mix-up, right, when we did get a normal attack damage unit, if they were going to be either a good one with guard break or a bad one without guard break. So I think this Orihime, who's actually quite the fun unit, I will be honest. I actually really like the Orient Society banner. Would love for it to return. She's the first unit that I'm really hoping to see guard break. And if she does get it, honestly, she could get a pretty good upgrade. I'm looking forward to her resurrection. Now that guard break seems to be the norm. After that, any more characters? Again, Izuru already got. Misaki already has guard break. Obviously, I'm looking forward to round 14, Ichigo and Rukia. Looking forward to Ginjo's resurrection, mostly because that's the oldest character I'm missing and I'll be able to finally pick him up. Same with movie characters, I've never pulled them. But by this point, I think every Naj unit that came out just had guard break at this point, right? I think, yeah, after that, actually, I don't think this Shuhei had guard break, but he was an arena unit. I know Ruroka did, so yeah, really, it's only, in terms of upcoming normal attack damage units, unless I'm forgetting someone, really the only one I'm looking forward to here is going to be Orient Society Orihime. But with that said, lads, that was the video for today, going over the 3 new resurrectable characters. I would say Izuru got a pretty good upgrade, quite a notable one, given that he does get guard break, and also became a really good soul trait for someone like 1000 Year Blood War, Sergeant. Chojiro also got a pretty good upgrade, not enough to really make him playable, but it is quite notable nonetheless. Also, most importantly, did get a good soul trait. So you have 2 really good soul traits here in this batch, and also plus 200 orbs. And then Yamamoto was always the awkward one because he already had 3 innate skills. They definitely have to do something about that, because as we do go forward into the future, You know, we can't be getting resurrections where they only get one new skill or the only thing new they get is a sword trait. We've had that in the past until they upped the amount of skills resurrectable characters can get. But as we approach the norm of characters getting innate skills, characters getting 8 to 9 skills, we definitely need to start getting more with resurrectable characters. Because Yamamoto right now is kind of an example of that, as he only picked up, one new skill and a few damage increases. His soul trait isn't that good, but it could become useful in the future if we do get a technique character that has a very high chance to inflict burn. Either way, let me know what you'd like to think about these characters in the console below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.